Andor Season 2 finally revealed and explained how and why Luthen Rael became the early indispensable cog in the fledgling rebellion. But how is all this possible? Well, a series of scenes beginning with this one showed a young Luthen Rael returning to a military transport, dressed as an Imperial army trooper. The scene is set in 18 BBY, the year after the Galactic Empire rose to power following the Clone Wars and the demise of the Galactic Republic. As a massacre by Imperial troops takes place outside the Imperial ship, Luthen, then known as Sergeant Lear, hears the screams of a rebellion and feelings of sympathy overwhelming him as the brutality of their attack appears to form a decision on deserting his Imperial post. Throughout Star Wars lore, defectors don't run for politics, they run from horror. A crisis of conscience also happened to ex-Imperials Crix Madine and Dodonna, who both defected from the Empire to the Rebel Alliance over the coming years after being complicit with Imperial atrocities which they could no longer tolerate. The Empire's heavy hand can only spin obedience into fury. Rael's speeches are filled with personal guilt, hinting he saw those horrors firsthand. In 15 BBY, Luthen began building for a counter-Imperial movement. He resigned himself to conclude that the right fight of rebellion would be to condemn himself to life without joy, but faced up to the decision and the weight of his actions. Because of his Imperial background, he was able to anticipate the Empire's schedules to the minute. He was able to quote clearance codes before officers could finish their sentences, behaviour typical of someone formerly trained in Imperial doctrine. By 5 BBY, Luthen owned the Galactic Antiquities gallery on the upper levels of the galactic capital of Coruscant, where he continued to build his rebel insurgency capable of gaining the Empire's attention, at the same time requiring a serious injection of funding to further its ongoing operations from, of course, the Aldhani heist. Because Luthen Rael deserted the Empire, every act of sabotage doubles as punishment inflicted on oneself as an outward expression of repentance for the Imperial wrongdoing. This fueled redemption arc rivals anything in the Andor series. Star Wars is built on moral binaries, yet Luthen Rael muddles them. He will sacrifice dozens for the hope of thousands, echoing Imperial ruthlessness, even as he fights it. A rebel who turns the galaxy's most rigid war machine against itself. What is not clear is how Luthen Rael connected his rebel network with Mon Mothma's senatorial standing. Maybe that will be explained during a spin-off series. Did you think Luthen Rael's backstory was good enough, or did you feel it lacked some details? Let me know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching.